All right, everybody, good afternoon. What is going on? Hope you guys are doing well. Time to get back to our rookie evaluations. And we're back with Andre Fuller, the cornerback. So obviously, we're now pretty deep into this draft. We're pretty deep into the class. And these are not players that are going to be overly interesting to a lot of people. But Andre Fuller's a little different. This was a player we met with. This was a player that a lot of people viewed as being very draftable. And this is a player that I think has a future here, even if it may be a little difficult for him to find his initial footing. So Andre Fuller, interesting player. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks, and I think he has a good shot of making this roster. I'm not going to guarantee anything. He has to earn it. They may like him more than a guy like Nehemiah Pritchett, though. So cornerback, he played for two schools. The first was Arkansas Pine Bluff, and the other was Toledo. Now, I'm not really going to talk about anything from his Arkansas Pine Bluff days. Like, we're going to do Fuller by the numbers in this video, of course. I'm going to not talk about Arkansas Pine Bluff because it feels kind of irrelevant. And he did spend 4 years, even though he only played 3 at Toledo, which at least gives us a little something to work with. So I'm not going to worry about the Arkansas Pine Bluff stuff. If you want to look it up, that's fine, but I don't think that's very educational. He's going to be 24 when the season starts. He's big for a corner, 6'1", 200 pounds, so 79th percentile. Arms are not super long, but they're long enough for him to get by. And I think the combine probably shortchanged him a little bit. I think he's got at least 31, maybe a little bit more. Decently sized hands, 9 3/8. Tested for a player his size pretty decently. Sub 4.5 40 is good when you're 200 pounds. The 1.56 10-yard split's okay, 39th percentile. His broad jump was really good, 10 foot 9 inches. So that plays. And then you have the 4.28 10-yard split, which is not very good. But again, bigger guy, kind of understandable that he's not a great mover. All right, so Andre Fuller, again, I'm skipping over the years he spent at Arkansas Pine Bluff. Toledo started in 2022. And Toledo's not a huge school, but at least they've got a little bit of a track record here of churning out good, credible players. At least you can actually, like, quantify that. 2022, he was not a full-time player. He played in all 14 games, but he only played 308 snaps. So you're talking about slightly more than 20 snaps a game, like 21 and a half per game, which is okay. Gives you enough to go on. 18 tackles, 1 for a loss. 5 of his tackles were stops. 3 passes defensed. 1 sack, 2 hurries. So a little bit of production as a blitzer. And just the 1 missed tackle. So fine. Coverage numbers, quite good. 21 targets, only half of them got completed. 122 yards. So you're talking about a little more than, what is that? Right around 6 yards per target. That's fine, but it's a small sample. 67 yards after catch. So that's what, about a little more than half. So that's actually pretty good for well, he's not really an outside corner at this point, but he's part-time outside corner. QB rating when targeted is sub 670, which is really, really good. Mostly played in the slot, but also played a lot outside. So pretty good mix of inside-outside stuff. Also did some stuff as a box guy or a free safety guy. Also lined up on the defensive line as like an edge rusher a few times. So decent mix. More coverage than run defense, but decent amount of both. 8 pass rush snaps. Graded well, at the very least above 60 in all areas. Over a 70 in coverage. Strong. If you like sports, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using the Prize Picks app, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, and obviously we are now firmly into the NFL offseason, so we're all about baseball. We got some basketball, we got some hockey, whatever it is you like. Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. Definitely make sure to use the promo code HMA. Prize Picks is hooking up users with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. If you use that promo code, that is HMA. I've had a great time on Prize Picks so far, so definitely get on over to it, check it out, and make sure to get your lineups. And don't forget about Team Picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So download the app now, use HMA, and get on over to Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. 2023 was actually kind of a step back because he barely played. He was active for all 14 games, but he didn't even play 10 snaps a game. It was 119 snaps, so he was very much a backup now. 11 tackles, 1 stop, 2 passes defensed, 1 penalty. So now you're like full on backup here. 13 targets, 7 catches, but almost 10 yards per target. So again, it's a small sample. It doesn't mean a lot, but it's not very good. 16 yards after the catch. So what this tells you is he's getting targeted deep downfield and he's getting beat downfield. Also allowed 1 touchdown, so 113.3 rating, so not very good. And mostly in the slot, pretty much exclusively. Little bit of box, tiny bit of free and outside, 1 snap on the DL. Mostly coverage snaps, grades, not very good, although it is a very good tackling grade, and that is one thing that is consistent here. Graded well as a tackler. Now, 2024, he missed the whole season with injury, didn't play at all, did not play a snap in 2024, so not really anything I can say there. 2025, he did, however, play his first full season at Toledo, and he came into his own. Played 13 games, 711 snaps, so full-time player now. 49 tackles, 2.5 for loss. High percentage of his tackles are stops, 19. 1 pick, so he finally gets 1 interception in his career at Toledo. But 11 passes defensed indicates some notable ball skills. Like, that's actually, like, close to 1 a game. That plays. Did have 1 fumble recovery, 1 quarterback hit. Only missed 6 tackles, which is not bad. I can live with 6 missed tackles on 49 total. And 5 penalties, which we don't love, but it's not atrocious. And the coverage numbers are actually really encouraging. 52 targets, 259 yards. That's less than 5 yards per target. Less than half of the targets are completed. So the plays that are completed are kind of big plays, but if you're getting targeted 52 times on 259 and giving up 259 yards, you're doing great. Especially because this year he was almost exclusively an outside corner. 93 yards after the catch, so a lot of it is on downfield stuff, but you're still doing very well here. Did allow 1 touchdown, 56.5 QB rating is totally fine in my book. I mean, it's more than fine, it's very good. 590 snaps on the outside, 70 as a slot guy, 39 as a box safety, 12 on the defensive line as an edge rusher. Mostly coverage, but pretty even split between coverage and run D, 5 pass rush snaps. And he graded out really well in every category except pass rush, and pass rush he only did 5 times. So that doesn't even really mean anything. So the grading is very strong here. And I know it's Toledo, but this is what you want to see from a player at a smaller school. Totals, 41 games, 1,138 snaps. So not a huge sample. You're mostly talking about this final year. 78 tackles, 3.5 for loss, 25 stops. So pretty decent percentage of his tackles are stops. 1 pick, 16 passes defensed, 1 fumble recovery, a sack, a hit, 2 hurries. Let me, just for the sake of being fair. 7 missed tackles. Again, less than 1 missed tackle for every 10 tackles. I'm down with that from a corner. 6 penalties total, most of them in that final year. Allowed less than 50% completion. 86 targets, 508 yards, 176 yards after catch. So not a huge percentage of the yards he gives up. And 2 touchdowns, sub 70 rating, mostly on the outside, did play a decent amount in the slot. A little bit of box stuff as well. And yeah, pretty normal. All right. That is going to be it for Andre Fuller by the numbers. We'll do him by the traits a little later, and then we'll do some tape stuff. All right. Go Hawks.